Dear Mr. President, for you to understand how Kenyans are going to vote, they're going to tell you this morning. We've been told over the hours today that Kenyans are going to vote because there's road infrastructure happening in the government. 20,000 kilometers of roads, I don't know, being either maintained and or established.
And 6,000 being constructed.
Is the reason why Kenyans standing before the ballot box come 10th of August 2027 is what is going to make them vote. We've also been told that when you are before the ballot box on that day and you remember that 100,000 teachers, the biggest number ever in the history of Kenya, have been hired by this administration, that is what is going to sway your vote in one direction or another.
Yeah, that capitation that goes to schools is one thing that you will remember and say, I am voting on the second Tuesday of August.
So, dear Mr. President, our session this morning is actually Kenyans are going to tell you what it is that is going to make them vote. And how are you going to do that? You're going to call us this morning and you're going to let us know when you will vote. Because, guys, I think we have passed the place whereby we're saying, oh, will you vote come 2027? No. So we're speaking a different kind of language this morning. When you vote, because this is not a matter of if, guys, the pain that you feel, the anger that you feel, the frustration that is now in your soul, in your spirit, one of the ways in which you can sort that out beyond this prayer and divine intervention that people are talking about is to go to the ballot.
Yeah.
So not if we will vote, if you will be around. When you vote on August 10th, 2027, what is it that is going to help you make your decision? Things have been thrown at us this morning. They've been thrown at us the last couple of weeks. They've been thrown at us for months. What is going to influence your vote? Now, the person who is thinking about the 20,000 kilometers and 6,000 kilometers of road, how does that affect your daily 1, 2, 3? The people who cried last week when they received, not last week, a couple of weeks ago, when they received that piece of paper from their children's school that told them you thought you had a zero balance for term 2, well, you don't, because the amount of money that you will now pay is double. Those people who are crying at that moment, who are saying, this cannot be, even though you have gazetted a certain amount of money, the school where my child is going that I don't have a choice, I still have to send my child back to that school. I don't have a choice. Will they look for that money? The people who go to hospital today and are not able to get an answer, you guys, I did not realize just how true this thing of medicine not being in hospitals is. It is not a joke. That you go to hospital, you have been diagnosed with a certain thing, there's medication that has then been prescribed for you, and you're told, sorry, hakuna dawa, but you can go across the street to this pharmacy and you can purchase. Remember, you don't have a shilling. But that you were expecting that you can do that with your SHA. When you are making that decision about who you're voting for, what plays on in your mind? Remember, folks, we are not talking about if you vote. We are saying come August 10th, when you vote, what are you voting for? We want to hear from you this morning. What are you voting for, people? The things that we hear. Are you voting for the politician who's going to stand on a rooftop today and tell you how nice they look? Are you voting for the person who is going to continue singing a particular song? Are you voting for the person who wants to make you feel a little bit more Kenyan because of where you're from? Who are you voting for? And not just who, but what is it that they represent that you are voting for? Because you know what, guys? If you don't know, we're in bigger problems than we can ever imagine. If you don't know the reason, beyond, okay, I need to vote, it's my duty, the thing you are voting for, if you do not know, then you need to get to work. And you need to get to work today. But we want to hear from you this morning because it's Dear Mr. President. Let's tell you what Kenyans are voting for this morning. Call us 0732 142 650. I beg your pardon, 142 650 or 0732 142 653 or 651. I don't know which one our wants us to use this morning, but 0732 142 650 or 0732 142 651. We do want to hear from you today because we want to understand that as people vote, what is it that they're voting for? What decision is that you want to make? What are you voting for, Aseto?
I'm voting for change, man. Because one thing I realize is I can't keep doing the same thing the same way and expect a different outcome at the end of the day. Lazima tujite mkutano, tujiulize, what exactly do we want in the government that we put in? Do our voices end at the ballot, or do we have our voices beyond the ballot day and beyond the swearing in of the president? I want someone who would come in from all the cadres, who will come and include me in all the decisions that they do make. Because remember, these decisions, they don't make for themselves. They make for us. And I must be included in those decisions. It's not a question of 10 people, 15 people in a room and you call that public participation. If it's must, we must put a threshold that would determine what public participation means. You want to increase VAT on fuel? I have to be included in that decision. That's exactly what I'm voting for.
We want to hear from you. When you make that decision, when you are making that decision and filling out that form, what is it that you are hoping will change? We're hearing from you this morning. We'll take that number again, 0732 142 650, 0732 142 651. See the calls coming in, don't drop them, and we'll come to you in just a minute. And what should it be? That the things that we are seeing today, I mean, it continues to, baffle me that something of such an enterprise should come into the public arena, and it's just like somebody's just walking to town. That for years you've been told that there's a G2G agreement, and now what you're being told is that actually that money doesn't go to government, it goes to individual businesses. Yikes. Let's hear from folks this morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, disappeared. We'll take more of them. So to continue and to say that it doesn't go, and that something like that comes out into the public domain, and that people are not gobsmacked, and that people are not irritated, and that people are not saying, no, this cannot be the case. Can you trust the people who are sitting with the problem, looking at it every day, to then be part of the solution? What are you voting for come 2027? I didn't ask who, I asked what. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, we'll keep trying that. And we'll keep taking your calls this morning. We keep trying, and we'll see if those calls can come through. May the gods of technology smile on us well today. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks. Now, thank you very much. Again, my name is Luceno from Kakamega.
Yes, Luceno.
I want first to thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to call in on very sensitive issues like what's going on in our country now. Now, I have a problem with the explanation our president keeps giving when we are in a crisis, particularly like this one of fuel.
Okay.
I was in South Africa last month, and the price of petrol there was about 21 rand. Which is now, give or take about 215 shillings? No. Multiply by 7 shillings.
Okay, by 7, okay.
That's just around 140, 50 there. Now, they have added only one fund, all right, which is 22 rand. South Africa, I don't know if Kenya is a middle income, where South Africa is, but I want to believe it's a bigger economy than Kenya. Now, when the president comes in and starts giving us narratives and conjecture and things like, we are in a second middle income, so that is why we have to cost this. I mean, economies are developed by the capacity to produce, not by people calling them names. Look at Ethiopia. Ethiopia is even cheaper than what fuel is going for in South Africa. Now, we were told the G2G was marketed as a 6-month credit line.
Right.
Which means if the war in Iran started in February, we still have a credit line running up to August. What has necessitated this particular increment when we are still enjoying the stocks that we were supplied and expected to pay after 6 months, after selling? Actually, we were told after we sell, there will be less pressure on the dollar. So we will be given this line of credit so that we continue to ease the pressure on the dollar.
Okay.
So, the way the government and particularly our president messages his conversations is taking us for almost fools or dandies, because he looks at us like people who don't think, who don't remember what he said yesterday, and who don't even care what he tells us.
So based on that, Semo,
Yes.
what will you vote for come 2027?
I want to say this. The choice of whom to vote for is the only problem. But what to vote for as an agenda, I already know it.
And what is that?
Not again. Because the way our current government came into power is completely misplaced from public service. It came in to find a vehicle to actualize their childhood egos and ambitions. That they wanted to live like kings somewhere in the medieval times, People who just use everything and they don't care. These people have no interest of Kenya becoming anything successful in the future. They just want to say, I am a rich man. That's all. So I know for sure what I will vote against.
Okay.
But whom will come when we now know who is standing for this agenda?
All right.
But we feel completely, these are travesty and a theft and a fraud on Kenyans.
Well, we want to thank you very much for your call. I think that's also interesting, and it doesn't actually shut you out. That you may not necessarily know what you want to vote for, but you already know what you want to vote against, and a ballot allows you to do both of those things. Thank you for your call this morning. We're looking forward to you continuing with these conversations with us. Asante sana.
Thank you so much.
All right, we hear some from other folks this morning, because I think that's very interesting. And it's happened in many an occasion that people are not necessarily voting for something or someone, but that you're voting out something or someone. What will you be voting for come 2027 when you have an opportunity to be before the ballot to actually change the way things will be? What do you cry for today that you don't want to see happening? Dear Mr. President, we're telling you this morning what Kenyans actually want. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm Cedric Luyanja from Shamahoho.
Yes, Cedric from Lumahoho.
Hello.
Shimahoho.
Shamahoho, that is Vihiga County.
Vihiga County. All right.
Yes.
Do tell us, what are you going to vote for come 2027?
Actually, in Kenya, people doesn't vote for, they vote against.
Okay, you're voting against something. What are you voting against?
When you look onto the current government, actually they came into power based onto the deception. When you now look onto, they deceived people about all good things that are going to be done. And they said that when you now talk about the fuel prices, they even came up with something that is called to the G2G, where they say that they were going to ensure that there is stability into the prices. They were going to ensure that there is continuous flow of this fuel into the country. It was just last week when you saw very many people lining onto the petrol stations and there were no fuel. And when you now consider such a thing, you see people are very much disappointed. And that is some of the things that are now going to agitate people and ensure that they vote out something that, or when you want to vote, you don't base on to something that you are being promises that cannot be fulfilled. Because when you now consider, as we are told that fuel, it is higher in Kenya because we are middle country. And it is the same president who said that when the fuel were higher, at the era of Uhuru, he went around and said that how come that the fuel is higher in Kenya than Uganda, Tanzania, and yet they source the fuel through Kenya.
Yeah.
So we were wondering, right now we are wondering, how come the double speaking into the politics in Kenya? It is the one that's now going to ensure that people, we vote in somebody who can stand onto what he say and believe You cannot be preaching wine and taking water, or preaching water and taking wine, for that case. Yes.
All right. I mean, it's interesting to hear you can't vote against the thing that has been troubling you for the longest time. Thank you very much for your call this morning. Looking forward to having you continue this conversation with us. Let's hear from a couple more of you this morning as you talk to us. Dear Mr. President, our session this morning is to hear what Kenyans are actually going to be voting for. Where have been your pain points over time for you to say, you know what? And if you are not aligned to this, then obviously there is a problem here. 0732 142 650, 0732 142 651. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
What's your name and where are you calling
from? I'm Tunzo calling from Malindi, Marareni.
Yes, Tunzo from Malindi. Talk to us this morning. Come 2027, what are you voting for? Or in this case, against?
Mimi naona kwa msimamo wangu, ningependa kupigia yule mtu mwenye, kwanza, wacha hata hii fuel crisis ni juzi, but there's a lot of billions of money zenye zimekuwa zikipotea. So maombi yangu, ningependa tupate kiongozi ambaye kwanza atazitafuta hizo kule zilienda, kama ni kwa mifuko ya watu azitoe azilete kwa wananchi. Azilete kwa wananchi. Mwenye alifanya scandal ashikwe aekwe ndani, at least tuwe na mtu mwenye anaweza kutusimamia. Hiyo ndo maombi yangu. So yule atakuja na niletee hiyo policy ya kwamba wale wote wenye waliiba, waliingia kwa maskandal, ile pesa yenye ilitoka bila kujulikana imeenda wapi, irudishwe, na wenye kufanya hivyo washikwe waekwe ndani. At least kutakuwa na fee, hata hiyo government yenye itakuwa, wale viongozi wengine watakuwa wanajua yule mwenye yuko pale juu hataki hiyo maneno. Alafu kitu nyingine, kumekuwa na shida kidogo over last week. Mlikuwa mpatikani huku. I used to follow SpiceFM, but over last week hamkuwa mnapatikana kabisa.
Oh, okay. So, but now you're getting us. Maybe there was a little glitch, but everything now is sorted and you're getting us loud and clear?
From yesterday, I started getting you.
Okay, well, happy to hear that. And just let us know and making sure that everything continues. Asante sana.
Na sijui pengine wakati kama hampatikani tunaweza kuambia vipi kwamba kuna wasikilizaji wengine wa kwenu huko watu wasikii.
Tuombe Mungu atutakuwa na hiyo shida mbeleni.
I used to call but hakukuwa, simu haikuwa inapokelewa sana. Nilikuwa nashindwa nitaelezaje kwamba huko hampatikani. Pole,
saa zingine labda kuna watu wengi wanapiga simu ndio sababu si ati simu haingii.
Ilikuwa yeah.
Sindio?
Okay, sawa, asante
sana kutupigia leo asubuhi. We'll take more calls this morning. 0732 142 650, 0732 142 651. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. What's your name and where are you calling in from?
I am calling from Nyamira County.
Yes, sir, from Nyamira County. What is your good name?
I'm Richard Gechiko.
Richard Gechiko, what will you be voting for come 2027? Not if, when you vote, what are you voting for?
Yes, when I vote, number one, I know whom I'm not voting for.
Okay.
I'm not voting for the regime that is currently running down the economy. But I would be voting for somebody who is ready to reduce the cost of living. Somebody at least who will consider Kenyans, because we have been fooled before. I know we were told that the prices like now, the one for fuel will come down. But up to now, there is nothing has happened, and the guys seem to think that they had already done what they told us.
Yeah.
And they are comfortably celebrating on our predicament. So coming next year, I know the regime that is there, I will not be voting for them. I'm carefully examining those who are coming.
Yeah.
Those who are offering themselves for presidency. I'm carefully looking at them and to see the one that will come out to share how he or she will bring down the cost of living, that's the person I'll be voting for.
Well, we hear you on that. You're very clear already who you will not be voting for. You're waiting to see who you will. Thank you very much, Richard, for calling in this morning. Continue listening in our conversations, and let's continue talking about these things.
I am listening to you all the time, and this is my station. Please, God bless you. Take care.
Amen. Thank you very much, Richard. We hear from some more of you this morning as your calls come in. Not to forget, that number is 0732 142 650, 0732 142 653. Okay, let's get through because there are quite a number of them. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Madam Ndu.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Well,
Dennis.
Salam sana, how are you?
Me, I'm good. Me, I'm Karajawa Weru from Bahati Nakuru.
Yes, Karaja, good
County.
morning.
Morning. And the person I would like to vote for is Atraore Stan. What do I mean by that? I mean a person who is patriotic enough, a leader who will bring all Kenyans together, not a tribalist, a person of honor. But now the elephant in the room is this. We have tried to change leaders, and this habit of our leaders, right from the MCA to the president, do not go to the leadership as public servants. They become servants of themselves. They go for what they will benefit from. So my wish is this: if we can only get a person who is truly patriotic, minding the welfare of all people, regardless of where they come from, that is the leader I would like to have.
I hear what you're saying. You're very clear in your mind what it is that you want, isn't it? As a Kenyan.
Yeah, the problem. But the problem is that all those guys, most of the guys we elect, never fulfill their promises. They change once they get there. So thank you. Let's hope we shall get a good leader.
Absolutely. And thank you very much for your call this morning. We're going to hear from a couple more people today, if that's okay with you. Thank you for calling in. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning again. My name is Yuseno, and thank you so much for giving me another chance.
Okay.
Yeah, I have, I realize and I identify with the problems that Kenyans are facing in identifying leaders who can actually be patriotic enough and who can develop Kenya. I think my appeal to Kenyans is this. Anytime anybody comes to you, take time and look at their history. People do not change. Only circumstances change. If a person has been a thief from school and ends up stealing even when he is in a public office and you make him your leader, you can be sure he will steal. So people who have no integrity should never, like when somebody comes here and is giving you money and doing all sorts of things, the question should be, where is this money coming from? And once somebody shows up with money and a lot of talking forever, and you cannot see the history of what he has done in the past, that is a red flag. That is a red flag.
Okay.
So what I'm looking here at is something like this. And I'm not campaigning for anybody, but I'm looking at somebody like Maraga, for example. He has held the highest office in the judiciary. But he has got no money to keep dishing around. You look at somebody who is just a mere MP, and he has got tons and tons of money, and then he tells you now he wants to become governor, then he wants to become president, then he wants to... Those are the people we should just kick out. We should look at people and say this: we are not here to eat off your hand. We are here to have systems working, and we'll eat off our own hands. So somebody who has no clear program on what he wants to do in industrialization, he wants to do in education, he wants to do in healthcare, not just words. It must be demonstrated, because if somebody is closing down all industries. Somebody is killing all institutions, and then you think he'll eat off his hand. I think we are completely wrong.
Well,
So that's my thought. It's just a wild thought. I know it's a wild thought, kind of, but the truth is we need people to demonstrate leadership, not to be kind of Father Christmas, standing here, stealing money here, and then giving us without easing our short-term problems, and basically condemning the country to a pauper, a nation, you know?
Yep. We definitely hear you on that.
That's my thought.
Thank you so much for sharing those thoughts with us this morning. Definitely for calling back as well. Very important that we look into some of these things. We're going to take a quick break on this. Remember that we're talking to dear Mr. President this morning and saying that this is what Kenyans are telling you. This is how they intend to vote come 2027. Don't let it come as a shock to you. So guess what? He's also said, well, once a thief, always a thief. Yeah. This likelihood of them not going to change. So those are things that you should take into consideration when you are faced with a decision, as you will be come 2027. We'll come back and we'll continue with the calls this morning, because dear Mr. President should be getting the message loud and clear this morning, and not just him, for everybody who is thinking that they want a position to have a go at it. This is what Kenyans are saying to you this morning. Take heed. We'll come back with more after this.
Spice up your life.
And if you're just tuning into things this morning, we continue. Dear Mr. President is a session that we are in this morning, and we're taking in your comments today. We're taking in your calls because, guys, what is it that you will be doing? You've listened to the politicians on rooftops, and it's about to get hotter. You've listened to the people who have a thing to say so far, but nobody has really come out and said this is exactly what it's going to be like. You're going to hear a lot more of it. We're going to see a lot more drama, a lot more action. May it never dissuade you from the position or the decision that you must take when it comes to you being at the ballot. So we're asking the question this morning for dear Mr. President to know, this is actually what Kenyans are going to vote for. That Kenyans are convicted at a time where a decision matters, and probably more so than they have been in a very long time. And this is what they're saying that they will do when it comes to the decision that they will make or take at the ballot. So we'll hear a couple more of those, or actually maybe more than a couple. Talk to us on 0732142650 or 0732142651. We'll also take a look at your comments on socials this morning. I don't know, Aseto, if you want to do that, looking at what
so we just look at what Mia is saying, Arlinda Gola. In as much as we look at what we will vote for, we know what we want. The politicians will say all the good things, but once elected, they don't deliver on their promise. And Mtuflani, whom to vote for, we will know once IEBC clears candidates. As for now, we should be stating the sera that we want. Ama tunaogopa kufanya kazi? That's the question that is asking. And Blissful Motivate, I am voting for servant leadership, no to corruption, and we don't pay for debt Parliament didn't pass. Welcome back, Ndu. You are missed, right? And Red Fairy says, what I will vote for, adherence to the rule of law, constitutionalism, good governance, and an improved economy. We have Musemo Kweli as well, who says, I can vote for anyone other than Kasongo and Matiangi. These are same sides of the coin. We must rescue our country from these ICC criminals and their stooges like Matiangi. Now, we have, I am highly convinced, that is according to Eriko War, I'll vote hoping that institutions would work for all of us, and many, many comments that continue to come in.
Of course, and your calls coming in as well. Thanks for that. 0732142650, 0732142651. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
how are you doing?
Yeah, hello.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from. Please turn down the volume on your radio, sir.
My name is Gona Fondo from Twapa.
Sorry, say that again?
Gona Fondo from Twapa.
Okay, from Twapa. Okay, talk to us. What are you voting for come 2027?
2027, I'm voting for a big change. Yeah, a very big change.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does that change look like?
We want a change of life.
Okay.
Yeah, the life we are living as Kenyans is miserable.
How so?
Only few people who are in the towns, they enjoy the life. And we who stay in the remote, people are suffering, honestly speaking.
All right. So what you're looking for when you cast your vote is a change from the current suffering that you're experiencing.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to go on top of whatever. I want to get it right from our members of parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they are coming into our areas.
They've started
They don't
coming,
tell us what.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't tell us what they will do. They only tell us, we are in this system. We want you to be in the government so that the government can do something good for you people.
Okay.
But we always challenge them. We are already in the government. We are Kenyans and we are in the government and we have a government.
Okay.
If the government does not do for us and you come and tell us, ingia chama hii ya serikali ndio mtapata ambao sasa hiyo hawana sera, hawatuambii. They are just convincing us tuingie tu, lakini hawatuambii nini watakufanyia.
Okay.
So they are waiting for the head to tell us, I'm going to do this and this and this. But them do not tell us.
They don't tell.
They don't tell us.
Perhaps that is also going to inform you about how you should make a decision, isn't it?
Yeah. So now to make a decision, we have to make it kuanzia huku chini. Yeah. If they have nothing to tell us, they should not convince us to go to the top.
I hear you.
Very well, even at the top, there is nothing we are going to know.
Sawa sawa. Thank you for your call this morning. Enjoy your day in Papa and definitely keep listening. Asante sana.
Asante sana. Karibuni.
Asante. Take more of those calls. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Yes,
Good
please
morning.
tell us your name and where you're calling in from, sir.
My name is Collins. I'm calling from Soi in Kakamega County.
Okay.
My advice today to the president, one would be to just improve the lives of Kenyans for the period that is remaining, because there is nothing new we can advise him to do for Kenyans. But now that is for the president, because for the period remaining.
Yes.
But now to the Kenyans, I would wish that we could look at this National Assembly. As much as we are concentrating to change on the presidency, the National Assembly is also very, very important.
Okay.
And I believe as they come to campaign to us, we need to ask them we need to know what policies, what policies they put forward to the government in terms of even the budgeting. Because now when we look for leaders who go to beg the president for development, that is where we go wrong. We need a National Assembly that is concentrated on developing the country as per the Constitution.
So you know how you're going to vote come 2027?
Not for the current administration, that's no.
Okay. You know definitely how you will not vote.
Definitely not how I will not vote.
Okay. That you know already.
So the opposition needs to pull together. Now they're pulling separately. Let them do that for now. Hapa mbele tuko na kazi nzito. They will have to pull together at some point.
Okay.
But let them mobilize. They should mobilize now as they are. But hapa mbele they will have to pull together because the current one is not a pushover. That one we must also understand.
Asante sana.
It is not a pushover, and we have to pull together to make sure we change our country, because that is what we need to do. If we don't change this country this time, we are doomed.
Well, I hear you, and perhaps that's the kind of a message that needs to come out in terms of a decision that needs to be made. Thank you very much for your call this morning, Asante sana.
Just one more thing.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you for what you're doing, and keep injecting. And I will send you a diagram of the body part so that you know where the liver is. Don't just inject. Inject in the liver. Thank you for the work that you're doing, and Dennis.
Asante sana. Thank you very much, Collins. Thank you so much for that. We'll keep hearing from you this morning, Collins. Thank you for that call. 0732142650, 0732142651. How you will vote, dear Mr. President. This is what Kenyans are telling you this morning, or in this case, how they will not vote. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, my name is Joyce.
Yes, Joyce. Where are you calling from?
from Kiambu.
Joyce from Kiambu. Talk to us. How are you voting come 2027?
2027 comes. For me, I've not decided who to vote for.
All right.
Because if you look at the president, he has given us so many promises that he has not fulfilled. And not only that, I will not vote for either the president or the opposition leader, because if I tend to think if they were both still together today, he could not have told us what it is. He could not have told us what they had planned, because they would be one. Number two, I still think that every leader that is asking for our vote right now, it is because they don't want jobs. They want us to give them those jobs, and after we have elected them, they go and forget the common mwananchi.
I see.
If right now I tell you that my child is in a public school, I transferred her from a private school and I took her to a public school because they say it is free. But let me tell you, it is not free. We are paying the same amount, almost the same amount with a private school. So, and I was thinking of that mwananchi, that common mwananchi is not working. Our businesses have gone down. Everything has gone down. You try to call people to come and buy from you. They still say everything is high. When you're going to buy the goods to come and bring even in the village to sell to those common people, the fare is high. You're not able to pay. You come and now you're wondering, where are we heading as a country? Because every leader that we are not saying that the president is now wrong because he's now there right now. We are wondering if we elect even the other person, those people who are giving us promises, will they help us? They will not help us because they want jobs. And after I had the governor of Nyeri and Anne Waigoro, they are all asking for because now they have served for their 2 terms as governors. They now want Senate because they want jobs. It is jobs that they want. They don't care about common mwananchi. They don't care at all.
And are these the thoughts that are these things that you're saying, Joyce, the things that are actually going to move you to vote in a certain way? When you hear that some of the people who are coming to you to ask for the vote are not necessarily doing it because they want to change anything or make it better, but that they actually just want jobs, will those be the things that make you decide come 2027?
Yes, they will make me decide. Right now, I've not decided who to vote for. I'm still waiting for that miraculous president who will come, because for now I cannot think that I will vote for. When I see everyone, I see all the same. I see them; they are all the same. I have not seen whom I can vote for, because when I look, I see like even this person will be take, and they have succeeded to get in there. They will still now start behaving like now the one who is already there. So I am not yet sure who to vote for, but I am still hoping there is that one person who will come and save us. Yeah, that's what I think. And that's what I feel right now. Right now, I'm so down. I feel so bad because we have been promised so many things that they have not been fulfilled, and actually have affected the common mwananchi. Right now, we can now feel what a president means in the country, because us, when we are down here, we can feel now we have been affected.
Okay, I hear you, Joyce. But I mean, and it's clear that you've actually internalized a lot of these things. You're thinking about them. And I think that's where Kenyans have to be. You're thinking about these things. You see it, you understand it. And these are the things that are going to then furnish your decision. Don't let go of these thoughts. Let them actually be the things that guide you, regardless of whichever direction it is that you're going to take. And this is how Kenyans ought to be thinking for a better tomorrow. Thank you for calling in this morning. Really appreciate your call. Keep listening in, my sister.
Thank you.
All right, let's take some more calls from you this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, so many calls coming in. Let's take the next one. Who's ready to go? Hello, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm Tom from Keroka.
Yes, Tom from?
I'm calling from Keroka.
Oh, from Keroka. All right, what's your name, sir?
Tom.
Tom from Keroka. All right, go, sir. What are you voting for come 2027?
Yeah, meanwhile, yes. I'm Tom Onkangi.
All right, Tom. What are you voting for come 2027?
Now, first of all, I want to apologize for having voted for this current government.
Okay.
I'm looking for a lot of changes.
Okay.
Yes.
What change are you looking for? What are some of the things that you face on a daily basis that will then furnish the decision that you will make come 2027?
Take an example of education. Capitation to schools, for example. It's 16,000. It's not equal to 22,000. So the schools are reopening. What kind of what kind of education that we are entering into? Yeah, we are really in a fix. Yes.
I hear you. So it's fueling the decision that you're going to make because you understand what's going on today. What you're saying is that we cannot continue like this.
Among many things, the economy is really in its ICU. Unemployment is at astronomical levels, and many more.
I hear you. Thanks for your call, Tom. We'd like to hear from some other people this morning, but I hear what you're saying, and that thought is what you must hold on to when you make the decision at the ballot. Asante Sana.
Thank you so much.
All right. Some more calls this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
SpiceFM, hi.
Hi, how are you doing? What's your name, sir?
My name is George.
Yes, George, where are you calling from?
Calling from Mombasa.
Yes, George, Mombasa. How are things going?
Not fine. Bad government, we all want to clean the parliament. I've been doing logistics for the past 10 years. No, it's really a bad thing that the whole parliament should always focus on policies and make sure things work on the end, because the local wananchi feels the pain when nothing works. Then we all need to clean up parliament, leave alone the president.
Okay. So do you know how you're going to vote come 2027?
Very well.
Okay. You already know what you will vote for, or in this case, what you will vote against?
I know what to vote for to see the change I want. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for your call this morning. Taking from a few others this morning, Asante Sana. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Ndu.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine.
What's your name and where are you calling in from?
I'm Stanley. I'm calling from Mombasa. Yeah, there's definitely one thing I know. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, I know where not to vote. That one definitely I know. I know where not to vote. So, for where I will vote, I'm going to wait for the Linda Mwananchi and the United Opposition. They'll give me the way forward. But for now, what I know exactly is where I will not vote. That one I know for sure.
Okay.
What are some of the changes that would be informing your decision to vote how you will vote?
Yeah, it is how the United Opposition and maybe the Linda Mwananchi and any other group that may come up.
Yes.
How they will coordinate themselves and give me one president.
Okay.
To be against the regime which is there right now. Yes.
All right.
There's going back, reflecting back. There's a time I would say Kenya wasted my 24 years. And now I'm not ready to look for another 10 years to be wasted.
Okay.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
Definitely getting what you're saying.
Yes, I'm 60. Somebody wasted my 24 years, another one is almost wasting my 10 years. Those are 24 years. I'll be remaining with around 20 what?
And you're not ready to waste another 21 years. You are making a decision. You know what decision you're making.
I'm not ready to do that.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ndu.
Thank you very much for calling this morning, sir. We'll take a couple more calls. I think it was interesting what he said, that, you know what, time has been wasted. I'm not ready to do that again. One or two more. Let's hear from you. Dear Mr. President, this morning, Kenyans are telling you how they are going to vote. Take them seriously. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning, I'm John from Odaya, Nyeri.
Yes, John, please tell us, what are you voting for come 2027?
Okay, I'll be voting for a person who can be able to respect our constitution.
Okay.
Somebody who respects governance issues. And, and most likely a young person. I'm tired with these old age people. I'm also an old person. But I'll be going for like the Standard Group. That's what I prefer. Yeah, so I'll be voting against corruption, corrupt leaders, and those kind of things. Yeah.
I hear you. Thank you. You know what it is that you're going to be voting for. You understand it very clearly. Thank you for your call this morning. We're taking one last call. We'll hear it from you this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, please tell us your name and where you're calling in from.
I'm calling from Nakuru.
Yes.
My name is Janet Nderi.
Yes, Janet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just saying that life has become very difficult.
Yes.
And I'm saying that we are going to vote from the MCA. Because the MPs have been captured by the executive, so they are being bribed so that they cannot help us in the ground. So if any MP knows that he voted yes for the finance bill 2023 or 2024, he's not going to go back. We are going to choose leaders who are going to help the public.
Yeah.
Our taxes, Kenya is very rich. We pay a lot of taxes, we have a lot of money, we have a lot of resources, we have a lot of big corporations. So we are not supposed to beg for the money from IMF. All these monies, even those money which are going to get from IMF, they are going to go to the people's pockets so that they can campaign. They come give us 200 so that they can just continue give us gorogoro ya mahindi ama maragwe so that watu kanyagia juu. We are going to remove all of them from MCA up to the president.
You know exactly what it is that you're going to do. Thank you for rounding this. Yeah.
We know that. We are going to choose a manager who is going to sit in the office and manage the country. It is fixable. We are going to get a Mr. Fix.
There you go.
Not now, next year.
Asante sana. And thank you for rounding that out with us this morning. Thank you very much for your call. And thank you for everybody who called in this morning. It's very clear that people know what they're going to do. And did you hear what she said?
Yeah.
We are going to fix it. We know what it is that needs to be done. Dear Mr. President, Kenyans are telling you this morning how they're going to vote. Take heed. Thank you very much for joining us this Monday morning. It's the 20th of April. Nduana Seto with you, closing out the Situation Room. Asante sana for being with us this morning. More conversations continue tomorrow, God willing. Good morning. 10 a.m.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.